In today's video, we're going to talk about Litecoin, where we see a nice ascending channel and potential movement to the upper zones. So let's see what's going on with it today. Good morning, traders. Welcome back to our channel, and we're back with Litecoin LTC coin, where this time we're going to look at Litecoin on daily time frame and also on smaller time frames like 30 minutes. So on a daily time frame, we see that nice ascending channel where we have been bouncing from one side, basically starting from here and bouncing, making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, and so on, breaking completely and ignoring this 200 EMA and 100 EMA as well, basically on a bigger time frame. And currently we see, if we zoom in, price has touched nicely this lower side of the ascending channel, went for another attempt, and currently potentially going for one more attempt. Now, just based on seeing how long the wicks are on this lower side of the candle, there is high chance of seeing some kind of breakdown happening here, but there are also chances of seeing a bullish movement. Now, the only signal that we see that the price will go to higher levels is if we see a nice bounce from this zone here, basically, meaning this nice supporting trend line. But if we see a nice breakdown, then there are high chances of seeing movement to this fair value gap zone, basically, which will be, I think, something like 10 to 15% of market price movement. So let me just confirm it. And this is here. So upon breaking it, the lowest point would be 20%, and the highest point would be basically 13%. So a nice market price movement, but it will happen only if we see a nice breakdown from here. And the movement should be something like this. So we touch this zone here, go for a retest to this same zone, and then movement to the lower zones here. Now I'm marking it as a red. But if we see any kind of support here, as we have seen here, basically this one as well, showing us that strength of bulls is still there, and if we see another bullish momentum or sign near this candle, potentially on the upcoming daily candle, then there are high chances of seeing movements of 10% of market price movement, of course. So the movement will be something like this. We might die slowly towards this zone, have a nice bounce, and move to the upper zones. Now, once we move to this upper zone here, we are most likely going to go for a short position and go for a turnover to the lower zones here. But this is on the bigger picture. Now let's remove these scratches here and go for the 30-minute time frame. And on a 30-minute time frame, it is the completely different view. As we can see, price, after having a nice dump here, resulting in a nice liquidation on the Litecoin for many traders, breaking both 100 and 200 EMA completely without any retest, clear ones at least. We see that price has slowly been dying, and of course making a bearish trend as well, slightly. So something like this. Now, bouncing from one side to another, we are still approaching slowly this trend line, which will be most likely something like this, as we told on a bigger picture as well. Slow movement to this zone here, and then this zone will decide the next movement. But as of now, there are high chances of seeing price near this zone, which is basically 3% of market price movement. Now, with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this zone to be reached, and once we see this zone to be reached, then we're going to trade accordingly. If we see any kind of bullish momentum or any signs of weakness and a nice retest to that same trend, we're going for a short position. But if we see a nice bounce from here, then we're going for a long position, of course. But we are not going to rush with any positions and enter with long here, although we might see some kind of bullish momentum from here already, as we touched one time this trend here, but this would be pretty bad entry in our opinion. So if we see any kind of bullish movement from this zone here and move to the upper side here, then as we told you, we are going to look for the sell position potential, of course decaying this price for a nice short position to the lower zones. So this is it for today. As we told you, we are going to wait for this zone to be reached, and then we are going to trade accordingly. If we see breakdown, we sell. If we see any bullish momentum, we long. And if we see any kind of movement from here, any signs of bullish movement, we are not trading at all until we reach this zone. This is the safest game plan for us as of now, and we hope you liked this video, and as always, trade safe and smart. See you in the next session.